everybody. So in the last part we finished modeling the whole phone, and now it's time for the next part: texturing, shading, scene creation, and finally rendering. So yeah, let's get started. So first of all, I'm gonna add an empty so I can parent the whole phone to it and move everything around freely. Alright, before moving to lighting, I wanna finish the texturing part. So I'm gonna add an HDRI just to see how the texturing look on the phone. So we will work on the actual lighting later. Also, I'm using Easy HDRI add-on and it's completely free. So you can find it in the preferences tab. So yeah, I used Easy HDRI to add this HDRI, but as you can see, the HDRI is adding a bit of color tint to the phone, and I don't really want that. So in the world setting, Easy HDRI gives me a saturation option, and I just turned it all the way down to remove the tint. Okay, so first we will start with the metal frame of the phone, and now as the name says, it's a metal frame. So I'll turn the metallic value all the way up. The thing is, even though it's a metal frame, it still has this subtle grainy texture on the surface. So you can really see it from the side of the reference image. Most Samsung phones have this brushed grainy look on the metal. So we're gonna recreate that using a noise texture. Okay, so first I add a noise texture. Then Ctrl plus Shift, click it just to preview it on the surface. After that, I press Ctrl plus T to bring in the mapping nodes. Then switch it from generated to object and tweak the scale until I get the grainy look. Then I add a color ramp to darken the blacks and another one to control the contrast of the texture. Lastly, you can plug the color ramp into the base color of the principal BSDF. That helps bring the metal to life a bit more. After that, I just tweak the colors to match the reference and then just adjust a few values like roughness until it feels right. And yeah, that's the metal frame is done. Now once the metal frame is done, let's move to the back glass. This part is actually very simple, so we don't need to overcomplicate it. I just change the color, crank the coat value all the way up and tweak the roughness a little bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the back glass. Alright, now let's quickly work on the camera frames. For this, I just increase the metallic value to around 0.8, then tweak the roughness a bit, and honestly, that's already worked pretty well. You can definitely push it further, but I'm gonna keep it simple. Now for the inner part of the lens, I go into the materials tab and add another material slot. Then in edit mode, I select the faces that are supposed to be black, assign a new material to them, change the color to black, and tweak a few values like metallic and roughness. After that, for the grayish silver part inside, I add another material slot, assign it to those faces and match the color to the reference. Now for the camera glass, you guys probably already know the drill. I just add a principal BSDF, turn the transmission all the way up to 0 and lower the roughness. That already gives a pretty solid glass look. But to make it feel more realistic, instead of keeping the glass pure white, I tint it slightly towards grey. Tiny change, but it looks way more natural. Now for the camera bump, the upper part isn't just a solid color like the back panel. It actually has this frosted glass look over the actual back glass underneath. So the lower part is basically using the same material as the back panel, and the upper layer needs to be really strong frosted glass. I'm gonna leave this part for you guys to experiment with because you have got to do some works too. Lastly, for the actual camera lens, I just searched for a lens material in Blender kit. I'm using this one right here, so whenever you find it, you can use the same one for your lenses. And for the side buttons, you can use same material that we use in metal frame. That's it. Finally, now for the actual display, I did something pretty cool here. What I did was I first exported the UV layout of the screen, and then in Figma I recreated the actual screen layout, including the bezels and the camera cutout. So for this part, I'm basically using the same process I use for applying product labels. So first I duplicated the principal BSDF, then mixed both of them using a mix shader. After that I add an image texture and use the same layout we created in Figma. Then in the UV editor I lined everything up according to the phone's display. At first the colors were inverted, so I either invert the colors or just swap the shader sockets. And just look at that, we basically recreated the actual Samsung's display. So now we have two different principal BSDFs. In the white part controls the actual display and the black part controls the bevels. So whatever changes you make to the black shader will affect the bezels, and whatever you change in the white one affect the screen. Now after that I just add another image texture and use the same wallpaper as the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra for the display. Alright, and that's it for the screen. We basically just recreated the Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Now from here, you can either continue with the lighting setup or just use an HDRI and start showcasing the phone right way. And lastly, we are left with the Samsung's logo. So for this, I use the same process we used for the screen layout and product labels. I just grab the Samsung's logo from their official website, place it onto the back panel, and then use two different principal BSDFs. One to control the logo and another one controls the back panel. And yeah, that's it. Now for the final touch, I just duplicate the phone a few times and change the color for each one. And just like that, we get multiple color variation for the same phone. And yeah, that's it for this video. We actually did a lot today. Now all that's left is to place the phone in different positions, render them out, and you will end up with something like this. Thank you so much, like, subscribe, and we will meet in the next video.